Hello everyone, and now welcome to another 2v2 matchup, this time between Infi Tho going up against 15 Sway and Ice Orc. Well, things made it easier on me. Ice Orc is actually the blue orc over here on the top left-hand side of the map. 15 Sway is... Oh, actually, nope. The colors are... No, nope, never mind. Yeah. Infi is going to be the blue orc over here on the top left-hand side of the map. We see Tho spawning as the blue human. Meanwhile, 15 Sway is the red undead, and Ice Orc in the red trunks over here on the bottom right. Hello, Raynor, how are you doing? Another, orc and human versus orc and human 2v2 matchup from some of the best players coming out of the East. Should be a great match up once more, as we're looking at Ice Orc opening up with, well, Altar of Storms Barracks. There is going to be a burrow. Why did I even say it was human orc versus human orc again? No, it's human orc versus undead orc. Maybe it's just too early in the morning trying to get everything all together. Yeah, my daughter decided to set... I told her to prepare for school since tomorrow is the first day, or is her first day back to school. Yeah, it's really early in August. I'm like, yeah, you should try to get back onto your you should try and get back onto your school schedule, right? Wake up a little bit earlier, take care, brush your hair, get your backpack ready, all of those things. So she's like, okay, Dad, I will. And she sets a 4 a.m. alarm and puts it in my room. Yeah. Still a lot to train, still a lot to do. Or rather, she sets a 4 a.m. alarm on her phone and was using her phone. I told her she needed to get her rest. I didn't know that there was a 4 a.m. alarm on her phone. I put her phone in my room, and that's what woke me up this morning. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down here. Archmage is going to go and try and clear out the Dire Wolf creep camp. Timber Wolves, Dark Troll, High Priest off over here. This is going to get cleaned up pretty quickly and easily. An east versus west positioning this time around, as the Archmage looks to clear things up, purposely pulls back with this Water Elemental. Should actually be, yeah, he's still dealing damage to these units, as it does deal a significant amount of damage. We do see a wolf now making its way nearby. That Water Elemental may want to be denied. Oh, are we going to see some free experience there? Yes, we are. Big experience pickup for Ice Orc in the red Farseer. Alright, damage is coming through. We're looking at some Spirit Wolves trying to finish things down here. Some more damage onto those poor peasants who are just trying to return back with some gold. Thank you, Burrow Rush. Hello, as the Archmage now looking to retreat back as well. Alright, 1 Grunt, 2 Spirit Wolves going up against 3 Footmen off over here. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Death Knight looking to clear out of this particular creep camp here, going up against all of these giant wolves. The creeps actually seem fairly high in level and very difficult to deal with. Farseer now trying to chase around the Archmage. Archmage does have a healing ward and will have access to, well, early healing early on in this game, as we still are looking at the Farseer of Infi looking to clear up this Dark Troll Warlord off to the north. Mass Headhunters here. Are we going to see a new round of Spirit Wolves? That is the question. Units are looking to pull back. Once again, there are some Scouting Wolves all over the position and the positioning on this map. A lot of different walkways here, as the Farseer of Ice Orc finding perhaps a little bit of additional damage onto some of these units. Has to be careful though, as the Footmen are going to be able to get some damage to stick on that Farseer if they are not careful, or if the Farseer is not careful. Turning back around, still getting some additional damage here. Archmage is taking quite a bit, but as we remember, that healing wards does open things up for that Archmage, as that Archmage is already off to the races, running off to the north, now coming back down. Crota, volume a bit high. Are we talking about game volume, or are we what is game volume too high, or is my mic volume like clipping? Is that what you're talking about?
A player's forces are under attack.
Coming back through, Farseer grunts and now making their way a bit low. All right, so let me up this over here. All right, how's that? Is that a little bit better? Coming back through, well, we are looking at the Farseer trying to hang around in the back here. Does have these healing wards, able to continue to fight. Meanwhile, Scroll of Town Portal coming in, and this is going to be some big aggression here. Meanwhile, both sides are attacking again. We're seeing the Farseer now trying to continue to put a little bit pressure, and while fighting up against these Ziggurats here. Halls of the Dead, teching the tier 2 already done. We're going to add another tower in position as the Grunts are getting taken down. Meanwhile, the Farseer is pretty much all in this positioning here. We'll have to try and escape with with a bit of that, with that Scroll of Town Portal in just a second. Let's see. You know what? Give me a second. Options, sound. Yeah, no, game volume, all of those things seem to be good. Yeah, let me know if the game volume is still a little bit low. Coming back through, we're looking at the Farseer, still putting in pressure, trying to deal damage to the Ziggurat here, even though it is not the main one. Acolytes coming back over to try and repair. Headhunters are there and still poking back a little bit more. Headhunters continuing to, well, try to make their way back over. Meanwhile, Archmage was purposely trying to pull away some of the aggro from the, your speech volume is great now, game volume is a bit low. All right, then maybe you might want to increase your volume. If the balance is right, then you may want to try and increase your game volume a little bit on your side. Or actually, I can try that here. Options, sound effects volume, there. All right, coming back to Death Knight. Double claws of attack, big damage on the board. Meanwhile, Archmage with the last healing ward, healing up the Footman and also up that Farseer and that Archmage as well. A lot of early pressure coming in from here from Infi, and though working well together, we are going to be dropping a Book of the Dead, another powerful consumable item, and another sleep comes down from that Dark Troll High Priest. Level 3 on that Archmage giving a loving tap to the Farseer to say, hey, wake up, we've got things to do and places to go. Coming back across here, the Satyr Trickster, well, a lot of mana and then a couple of Shadow Dancers as well, trying to clear up all of these creep camps. We are seeing a couple of purges, the Water Elementals quickly getting taken down. Tauren Chieftain also getting mana burn. Quite a bit of a problem, as Curse also being applied as well. These older style maps with, well, not balanced creep camps do cause a little bit of a problem, as the Pit Lord now comes across, now with plus 14 damage. We are going to be looking at Cleave and 15 Sway with the Pit Lord and the Death Knight to back it up. Should be able to deal large amounts of damage mitigation between that Howl of Terror, and while dealing major damage with that Cleave because of that damage item. 15 Sway, well, adjusting nicely to the item positioning that he has. And the Tauren Chieftain, if they're able to do much here, are we going to see another Howl of Terror? No, we are not. That Crypt Fiend just is going to end up getting surrounded. Howl of Terror does come down a little bit late. In comes another stomp there, but the units are still retreating back and forth. All right, a little bit long right there. Scroll of Speed now being used. Scroll of Speed being used as well. Tauren Chieftain being forced to use that, being forced to use the Health Stone in order to get away easily, as they are going to be coming to an end. The race is now stopping. All right. Dire Wolf going to easily get taken down here. Spirit Walkers are going to be joining in on the fight, as we are looking still Infi and so putting in more pressure. All right, the Slaughterhouse now getting added in. The Slaughterhouse acting as a bit of a barrier to try and protect those acolytes. Meanwhile, ghouls are coming off the lumber line to deal damage to those wolves. Wolves are all going to get cleaned up here fairly fast, as the Pit Lord still not yet on the at level 2, still without Cleave. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain with Endurance Aura and Stomp going to go ahead and behind here, but could get into some big problems, as we're looking at some piercing damage on those fleeing units, coupled with a lot of damage here. All right, Tauren Chieftain, no, I believe the Tauren Chieftain picked up the Potion of Greater Mana here, as there's still some damage from these Lightning Wizards. Howl of Terror across multiple units once more. Pit Lord constantly getting healed. Those 400 hit point heals going to be very important, as there's still no Orb of Fire coming in from that Archmage. All right, Pit Lord is just an absolute tank in that front line, especially with the Death Knight backing him up. Another Stomp now coming in. Pit Lord could be in a little bit of trouble. Death Knight may be turning back around. There's that Death Coil once more, as the Howl of Terror on the Pit Lord, coupled with the Death Coils, making that Pit Lord just be able to be in that front line position, take a lot of damage, or soak up a lot of focus, but not take a lot of damage, and still be able to erase it pretty quickly. All right, coming back around. Tauren Chieftain now looking to engage here. Pit Lord now sitting at level 2, does have Cleave now. Cleave is going to be racking up that damage even further, and we could be looking at large amounts of damage across multiple units as the Tauren Chieftain could be in trouble. Tauren Chieftain down to dead as the Tauren Chieftain falls over there. Meanwhile, Pit Lord and Death Knight continuing to push back the other way. 15 Sway and Ice Orc doing a great job here as that Pit Lord, if it gets into this back line here, could cause more problems. He is low on mana though, and now without that Howl of Terror, that damage from the surrounding units are going to add up more and more. Alright, trying to swipe more still. Death Knight low on mana, has to be careful. I don't see any Obsidian statues coming in from behind as of yet. Maybe one coming in from there. Yes, one coming in from back, and that is going to continue to bolster this counter attack and push the other way as these units are trying to retreat. Raiders getting in some damage. There's a couple of ensnares as well, finishing off some of those units. Another, well, Priest going to get taken down. A quick disenchant there as the units are now, well, still in a massive chase. All right, Spirit Wolves trying to go take down some Spellbreakers. More units coming back in from behind. Obsidian Statue needs a bit of, well, needs to join in on this fight. Death Knight running ahead in front of that Obsidian Statue, removing some of that Unholy Aura bonus speed. All right, Pit Lord now back out onto the battlefield. Could try and use another Howl of Terror here. Meanwhile, the Death Knight has to be careful. Doesn't want to take too much damage from those Spellbreakers, removing some of that precious mana as the Pit Lord is down to, well, 412 hit points. Could end up trying to get a little bit more here. Obsidian Statue is getting pressured by those Spirit Wolves, but easily going to get handled there as the Death Knight should be landing a quick Death Coil soon on that Pit Lord. The Pit Lord absorbing quite a bit of damage, and there it goes once again. That Pit Lord has just been a great frontline tank to try and counter, but the Tauren Chieftain now in trouble, down to 187 hit points. Is it going to get finished off? It is going to dodge that stomp and be able to get away. Spirit Walker getting thrown down from the Lightning Shield. Low hit point Tauren Chieftain now in that backfield as well, as it is trying to regenerate some hit points and some mana. Tauren Chieftain in the frontline spot, still continuing this fight, going back the other way. Large amounts of damage, and behind this, Tho does have a good amount of gold coming in. He has this expansion coming across over here, but one grunt. Oh, the parrots of Orange County. All right, just trying to, or is that geese? That could be geese. Good luck, have fun, human OP. Yep. All right, making its way back down here. Pit Lord nearly at level 3. Level 3 Pit Lord could cause some major problems. Is he going to go for level 2 Howl of Terror or level 2 Cleave? I really don't know, but picks up a Gloves of Haste in addition to a Potion of Invulnerability. Gives the potion, the full 15-second Potion of Invulnerability to Ice Orc, knowing that, well, there's more healing for the Pit Lord because of that level. I love that level 4 Death Knight, soon to be level 5. All right, units going to try and engage here. In comes the units, and now, well, in comes the cleaving damage across multiple units here as, well, the blue army is now going to be coming in from behind. We could be looking at a little bit of a fight here as the guard towers are being brought over or trying to focus down some of those peasants. Meanwhile, an engagement here. Pit Lord now back in that front line position. A lot of damage, some devour, or no, not devour, or spell steal being used across multiple units as the Tauren Chieftain does get taken down. The red Tauren Chieftain taken down, unable to use that Potion of Invulnerability. Meanwhile, the Pit Lord now down to 600 hit points, continuing to fight its way through as the grunts are taking quite a bit of damage. All right, Infi and Tho doing a great job using that economic advantage. There's another purge right there. Pit Lord still trying to make its way back over, and with big damage. 20 damage across the board. Kodo Beast acting as some big damage. There's another Death Coil as well. It's trying to back away. Does have a Potion of Invulnerability and does use it in time. Still fighting its way over. Death Coil should be landing onto that Pit Lord again, continuing. And the Pit Lord is the main frontline unit, as all of the other units are able to freely do what they want to do based on all of the other actions. Pit Lord now trying to retreat back. No more survivability items as the Death Knight does not have enough mana just quite yet. Kodo Beast getting ensnared here. It's Kodo Beast, if it does get taken down, well, represents a major damage loss as there's no other Kodo Beast there. Pit Lord now down to only plus 16 damage as the fight's still underway. Death Knight has plenty of mana again for another Death Coil. May try to heal up that Pit Lord in that frontline position. However, Holy Light coming in from the Paladin to save the Tauren Chieftain as well. Tauren Chieftain is back out here onto the battlefield, representing that endurance or giving in some big damage as the Tauren Chieftain, or Death Knight, excuse me, Death coils up Hit Lord once more, continuing this fight back and forth. Both sides suffering large amounts of damage. Spellbreakers coming through the battle here, as there's 2 Obsidian statues completely out of mana. Not much that they can do any longer. Units may be trying to retreat back here. Are we going to see the Death Knight? Death Knight could be in trouble. Scroll of Town Portal is going to in fact be used. Units going to try to re-engage for just a little bit. Hit Lord in that frontline spot gets a little bit more swipey swipes again. Very, very long, constant battle from that current push. 15 Shui, 45 supply, 38 supply. I believe Infi and Tho is winning in that front here. 50 supply and 45, ever so barely, as the Archmage now looks to clear up the remainder of this creep camp here. Archmage alongside a Paladin, supporting the Farseer, Tauren Chieftain, and Shadow Hunter. Meanwhile, we are looking to set up an expansion here by 15 Sway, and the Tauren Chieftain needs to get some more survivability items. Surprisingly, we don't see a Shadow Hunter coming in from Ice Orc at all. He is still only at Stronghold, and sitting at 38 supply, doesn't quite have enough gold to get to tech to tier 2 into that next fight. That Shadow Hunter, we've seen how effective Hex can be in that battle. It's preventing the use of a Scroll of Town Portal or Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Tauren Chieftain looking to hang back a little bit more. Not enough healing, but I believe Ice Orc and 15 Sway are a bit of a cornered animal at this stage. They need to fight out and win this next fight drastically in order to come out ahead. Meanwhile, Farseer looking to clear up the Thunder Lizards here, taking down these Lightning and Thunder Lizards. A little bit of chain lightning damage. Are we going to perhaps be looking at, yep, there's that little slowing clap across all of those melee units. Very often difficult to take out, as we see the Farseer now get up to level 5. 15 Sway, level 5 Death Knight, level 4 Pit Lord. We are looking also at Howl of Terror. Units are going to be trying to engage not Ice Orc. Infi does have this expansion here, and Tho was able to hold onto its expansion, so it is also 4 bases to 3. As these last Furbo trackers get taken down, the Paladin now gets up to level 4. The level 2 Devotion Aura could be an order, or Divine Shield. Both very powerful at keeping that Paladin alive for as long as possible. Units are looking to engage here. Pitlord trying to chase after, does have plus 18 damage even without the Kodo Beast there. Kodo Beast, War Drums, increased attack. Is there going to be enough damage across all of these units? That is the question. Tauren Chieftain, if it can line up a couple of useful stomps, as the Archmage and Paladin now putting pressure into the main base of the Orc here, even though there could be a 2-on-1 fight at the expansion. Scroll of Town Portal, Infi looking to get some support by Tho. Now a 2v2 fight outside here of this expansion. Wide open spaces, nothing to get in the way. Howl of Terror being thrown down here, -2 damage across the board as the Pit Lord continuing to fight. I would have thought the damage would have been higher. In comes a quick Hex there under the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain uses a Potion of Invulnerability, does a stomp, and there's a counter stomp there. Blizzard now raining back on the other side. Tauren Chieftain could be in a little bit of trouble, needs to back away. Is it going to get Hexed again? There's another stomp, now trying to push back as we see a Wand of the Wind under the Tauren Chieftain, finally throwing down another stomp here. All right, lines are drawn, but it looks like the blue army is just a little bit larger. Pit Lord is get in some more damage here. Tauren Chieftain now once again picked back up as we're looking at the Spellbreakers trying to dive into position. All right, Headhunters or Berserkers now continuing to poke apart the other side. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 3. Is he going to be able to finish off a Kodo Beast? Yes, he will. There's another stomp there as the Pit Lord does get saved here momentarily. Down to 700 hit points, dropping quickly. Tauren Chieftain does get up to level 4. Lich has fallen at level 1. To fight its way through. A Headhunters finishing off those Obsidian statues, and the Pit Lord is having a little bit of problems. He could be overexposed here as the Death Knight is just a bit too far away from all of the action. Pit Lord down to 700 hit points, not even focused, and now onto the Archmage as Archmage, quick Hex onto the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain falls at level 4, and with Ice Orc's Tauren Chieftain gone, no more Endurance Aura, slower attack speeds as the Pit Lord tries to clean up the remainder of these units. Catching that Tauren Chieftain constantly, another death coil right there, but not being able to heal his own Tauren Chieftain since he didn't go to tier 3. Without that option to heal, that is the problem. Pit Lord finally taken down, and with that, I believe this game is going to be coming to an end. 15 Sway and Isork now being completely overwhelmed as the Death Knight gets taken down too. Level 5 finally up on that Archmage, level 4 on that Paladin, and that was going up against all of these other units as well. Meanwhile, Voodoo Lounge about to get picked off here, and I'm just waiting for the GG. This is far too much. Farseer, Torrent Chieftain trying to run off to the north to try and save, but it's just not going to be enough. 15 Sway does throw in the towel. Ice Orc gonna arrive to the party a little bit late, and well, I guess being a bit sad. There it goes, as we see Infi and Tho taking this game with a commanding victory. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you haven't done so, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and well, get those notifications if you enjoy my casting. Thanks everyone.